Alright, hello guys, how's it going? In today's video, we're going to be updating you guys on the upcoming temperature pattern. We have a lot to go over with the western half of the United States with that major heat wave out there, and then also a lot of things to go over in the eastern half of the country as well. Now for today's comment of the day, I want to know how long until you think we finally get a pattern switch to occur with this pattern we've been dealing with for pretty much at least, I would say 2 to 3 weeks and maybe going on a month at this point. So when do you think we're going to see a switch up in that? Let me know in the comments down below and I'll be picking one of those for tomorrow's video. Let's get straight into this video, and first things first, we're taking a look at basically today, Thursday, July 15th. And this is an interesting frame. We have a lot of those warmer than normal conditions out west. That's obvious. It's been that way for, like I said, almost a month. Now, the northeastern corner of the United States as well, it does appear like we could have some warmer than normal conditions sitting around. We've been dealing with 90s for a lot of folks down there in the southern mid-Atlantic, kind of the northern southeast region. So Tennessee, North Carolina, Virginia, Kentucky, West Virginia, kind of up into Maryland, even the Delmarva as well. I don't know about areas further north, but I know here in Virginia it has been 90s pretty consistently for a little while. It's been kind of nice, but a little hot if you do ask me. We do have some colder than normal conditions set up over the middle of the United States there, basically from the northern plains all the way down through, well, the southern plains. And we see this pretty widespread throughout the central regions or the middle of the United States. Now let's go ahead and move on to day 2, and that's going to be Friday, July 16th. And basically all that changes here is we see pretty much everything shift a little bit further east. We see the warmer than normal conditions up there for the northeast head a little bit further east. Well, the colder than normal conditions in the middle also move further east, and then also the western warmer than normal conditions also move further east. So we see kind of this overall just shift further east, which is pretty interesting actually, just to see it all moving. That could indicate kind of a pattern change, but it doesn't appear like that's going to change too much. It's probably going to recycle. So let's just move towards Saturday, July 17th. And as you can see, those colder than normal conditions do shift a little bit further east, but we still see the warmer than normal conditions in the northeastern United States, and we also still see the warmer than normal conditions still set up over the western United States. And things are about to recycle in just a moment. So what we're going to do is we are going to move on in just a moment and take a look at Sunday, July 18th, where things are going to kind of just reset a little bit and get a little bit more potent on all cylinders here. And we're going to see some pretty interesting things occur in just a moment. All right, now here we are taking a look at Sunday, July 18th, and as you can see, colder than normal conditions are set up over the plains and a lot of the southeast, as well as the Ohio Valley here by this point. We also see some warmer than normal conditions there for the eastern seaboard. And then for the western United States, we see those far above normal temperatures actually getting more potently hot here by this point. We see a lot of those darker reds and even browns showing up here. So even though you guys have had kind of a relief from that heat wave because it was way further above normal than it is here, it still just is recycling and heading back. So even though you saw the relief, it is kind of regressing back towards that pattern we were stuck in anyway. So I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but it looks like that pattern is kind of making a comeback here by, again, July 18th or Sunday, that is. Now, by the time we reach Monday, something interesting happens as well. We're seeing the northeastern United States cool off a little bit. That warmer than normal area has been basically regressing a little bit. The colder than normal conditions for the central United States are kind of spreading to the southeast as well. They're heading further and further south each frame by this point. And even for the north central United States, now we actually have some warmer than normal conditions setting up. But generally, for the western United States, things are still heating up and getting actually even hotter. The good news is this heat wave is actually a little bit further east than the original one was. So this might not hit the same exact areas, which would just be so cruel, obviously. So the good news is I don't think it's going to be kind of like an exact repeat, but it does look pretty similar enough to where it is kind of a disappointment, I'm sure, to a lot of folks out there in the western half of the country. Obviously, we all feel for you guys out there with that just tremendous amount of heat you guys have been dealing with this summer so far. Now let's go ahead and move this towards Tuesday, July 20th. And as you can see by this point, the colder than normal conditions have moved even further south and actually become more potent there over the southeastern and south central United States. I'm sure you guys are soaking in those cooler than normal conditions there for Texas, Oklahoma, Kansas. I'm sure that just feels great out there, where obviously it's usually very, very hot. You might not be dealing with quite as hot temperatures. You might be dealing with quite pleasant temperatures, to say the least, actually. So soak it in, because summer can turn around. Obviously, August could be a really hot month for you guys. So just enjoy it while it lasts, because I'm sure it feels a lot nicer than the typical summer conditions for you guys. Obviously, Montana, Idaho, Wyoming, and most of eastern Washington by this point, you might have noticed, have been dealing with very far above normal temperatures for the past few days. So we're going to be watching for that situation very closely, because that could be very hot temperatures on the way. The northeastern United States is still dealing with some of those warmer than normal conditions by this point. The southwest is also dealing with some far above normal temperatures as well. So this is just all around a very hot temperature for many, many, many folks here by this point. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to move on towards Wednesday, July 20th, or sorry, Wednesday, July 21st. And then we're going to move all the way on with the pattern all the way to Saturday, July 24th. Now, here's Wednesday, July 21st, and as you can see, those colder than normal conditions have become even more potent, and they're actually spreading up through the Great Lakes, the Ohio Valley as well. All the way down through Florida and Georgia is dealing with kind of pretty far above, below normal temperatures there, 5 to maybe 10 degrees below normal. The Greens is where we're 10 to 15 degrees below normal, so that is obviously a significant chunk, because if your average temperature is 90, you're dealing with 80 or maybe 75 right now. So that is obviously a very nice departure from what is typical for you guys, I'm sure. If your average temperature is 90, I would definitely prefer 80 or 75. I think that's a lot more pleasant, and I'm sure many, many folks agree as well. Now, we also see that North Dakota, Montana, Wyoming, Idaho still are dealing with those very far above normal temperatures, to the point where it's getting concerning at this point, maybe going on day 4 or 5 by this point, which is obviously really, really bad news for you guys. California is obviously dealing with some above normal temperatures as well. By the time we're reaching day 7, which is going to be Thursday, July 22nd, you can see those colder than normal conditions have spread to the northeastern United States as well, where they're kind of overtaking those warmer than normal conditions. We see the south central is still cold, the southeast is still cold, but the west is still hot. The west coast is actually seeing some colder than normal conditions move on shore, though, but I don't know if it'll be enough to combat this very far above normal temperature pattern that's already in place. And as you can see, by the time I reach the next frame, Friday, July 23rd, that is certainly not the case, as we see those warmer than normal conditions kind of win out that battle and head back to the west coast. So there might be some reliefs from that heat here and there, but it's just not going to be permanent, it doesn't appear. And those colder than normal conditions there for the south central United States have spread to some of the southern four corner states, even in through California and Nevada a little bit. That could spell an end to this heat wave out west. That could be the colder than normal conditions trying to head west of the heat, which would push the heat further east and could flip this pattern finally. But only time will be able to tell if that is what ends up occurring with this pattern. Let's move to the final day here, and that's going to be Saturday, July 24th. And as you can see, that does kind of progress what I just said. We see Nevada, Arizona, California, Utah seeing some of those colder than normal conditions. And a lot of warmer than normal conditions have headed further east by this point. So this could spell an end to that heat wave. So around day 10 could be the end of it. But we'll have to wait and see. I'll obviously make multiple updates for you guys on this situation. But hopefully this is that cold air trying to get underneath that heat wave and even head west of the heat wave. That would, like I said, push that heat wave further east, giving you guys a very nice break, a well-needed break from that heat. Anyway, for today's confidence tab, we're at a 5 out of 6. I feel quite confident that this heat wave is going to continue on for at least the next few days, and there is that slight chance, obviously, that this does come to an end towards the later portion of that 10-day period. For today's comment of the day, I asked you guys, when do you think our next big storm or next severe weather event for the United States will be? And James Marr said the next storm looks to be sometime mid to late next week, and we will wait and see if you are correct about that. Anyway, for today's patron highlight of the day, I want to thank you all for supporting the channel, but especially our platinum patrons, John Bembenek, James Wade, Dovi Nagel, Little the Pan, and Donna Carnes, alongside our diamond patrons, Bill Roberts, Marcus Connolly, Noah Harley, Michael Kudalesa, Cat Bite, Charles Stinnett, Cindy Klein, Mark J., Luke Falago, Gary's, John Coolisi, Dwight Phelan, and Stephen Crenenthal. I would also like to thank our channel members here from One and Catbite as well. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching this video. Be sure to destroy the like button and leave a comment down below because those two things help my YouTube channel grow so much. And also be sure to subscribe if you like weather-related content. I will see you guys in the next video.